Hello everyone. Today, I'll be sharing my thoughts on fiction movies, specifically comparing Marvel and DC. The way these two studios tell their stories has always been very different. Of course, there are a few exceptions. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, 2021, have very similar storytelling styles. But that makes sense because both were directed by James Gunn, someone who has worked with both studios. Aside from those exceptions, DC and Marvel typically provide completely opposite experiences. Some people say, DC movies feel like Indian action films, while Marvel movies feel like Chinese martial arts films. And honestly, there's some truth to that. In DC movies, when a character lands a punch, the enemy gets blown away instantly, just like in Indian action movies. A single punch means a single impact. No unnecessary movements, just pure power. No matter how strong the enemy is, they usually go down after just a few hits. Take the Flash movie, for example. Characters like Supergirl, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, when they fight, one solid hit is all it takes. No need for fancy tricks or drawn-out battles. So, whether it's realistic or not, DC movies deliver fast, hard-hitting action, just like Indian action films. But Marvel, they do things differently. When Marvel characters fight, it's more about smooth and stylish choreography, much like Chinese martial arts films. Take Captain America vs. Bucky, for example. One of them wields a shield with precision and elegance, while the other handles a knife like a martial arts master. Their fights feel strategic and technical, rather than just brute force. Or look at Iron Man vs. Thanos in Infinity War. Even though their fight is short, they counter each other's moves smoothly. It never feels too exaggerated or over the top. Marvel movies tend to focus on visually stunning, well-choreographed fights, which is why many fans say they resemble Chinese martial arts films. Even though Marvel movies may not feel as intense as DC movies, each studio offers its own unique charm that makes their films enjoyable in different ways. But here's something interesting. DC movies and Indian action films have another thing in common. Their main characters always enter God mode halfway through the movie. There's no such thing as a three-part character arc for them. No slow progression, no gradual power-ups. From the very first movie, they immediately become unstoppable. Take Man of Steel, for example. The moment Superman embraces his identity, he's already on a whole different level. No one in that movie can truly challenge him. The same goes for Shazam and Wonder Woman. As soon as they step into their powers, they become invincible almost instantly. In DC movies, characters rarely go through any major transformations. If they were already strong before, they stay just as strong throughout the movie. For example, Robin, by the time he officially becomes Robin, he's already almost as skilled as Batman. If you're a DC character, there's no such thing as gradual improvement. You don't slowly get stronger over time. You're just powerful from the start. But in Marvel and classic Chinese martial arts movies, it's a whole different story. Think about it. In a Chinese martial arts movie, the hero starts off as a nobody. He has zero skills. Then, he either finds a great master or some secret technique, but even then, he doesn't master it overnight. If the technique has 18 moves, he'll only master 9 at first, maybe even less. He struggles. He fails. And only by the end of the movie does he finally become unstoppable. That's exactly how Marvel movies work. Take Doctor Strange, for example. He doesn't instantly become the Sorcerer Supreme in one movie. He gradually gets better. Even in later movies, he keeps improving. This is even clearer with Thor and Iron Man. They start off strong, but they continuously level up over time. And then there's Wanda. When she was first introduced in Age of Ultron, comic book fans were furious. In the comics, Scarlet Witch is ridiculously powerful. She can rewrite reality with just a few words. But in the movie, she couldn't even stop a small train. Back then, people complained that she was too weak. And honestly, I believed it too, until I saw how her character evolved. Now, after Multiverse of Madness, we all know just how powerful she truly is. It was never about her being weak. She just hadn't reached her full potential yet. And now, we're seeing the same thing happen with Adam Warlock. Some people are already saying, he's not that strong. To those people, I say, just wait. Right now, Adam Warlock is basically a newborn baby. The MCU made him young on purpose because they want to make movies for years to come. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I think DC fiction is better than Marvel. Let me explain. Think about One Punch Man. At first, it's exciting because he can defeat anyone with a single punch. But as the story goes on, no matter how strong the enemy gets, he's still the strongest, and that starts making the story less interesting. Now, compare that to something like Naruto. He gradually becomes stronger, unlocking new modes step by step. Every time a new arc starts, fans wonder, what new powers will he get? How much stronger will he become? This builds anticipation, which is why people love it. And this is exactly why DC sometimes struggles. Their heroes are often too overpowered from the very beginning. Back in the comic book era, DC was actually better than Marvel. By far. Even their animated movies were incredible. But let's talk about DC's character logic in those early comics. For example, the second Flash was faster than the first, and the third Flash was even faster than that. DC's formula was simple. New characters had to be stronger than their predecessors. And at first, fans loved it. Wait, this guy is even stronger than that guy. That's insane. That kind of hype helped sell comics. But over time, DC just kept creating more and more overpowered characters. And in live-action fiction, things started to fall apart. Why? Because fans became smarter. People started analyzing superheroes using physics and math. And suddenly, these overpowered characters started raising way too many questions. Take the Flash, for example. They say he's faster than light, but somehow, Batman still manages to shoot him. Or Green Lantern's ring. It's supposed to be impossible to take off unless the wearer allows it. But somehow, Batman steals it. At some point, these super powerful heroes just started feeling unrealistic and impractical. And that's exactly why a team like the Suicide Squad, a group of heroes with no real superpowers, has become so popular today. I truly want to see the DC universe succeed. Right now, I might enjoy Marvel movies more, but DC characters defined my childhood. And that's why I still dream of seeing amazing DC movies. That said, I don't want to blindly defend bad characters. Just because I love the franchise. At this moment, Marvel, the Chinese movie, is winning over DC, the Bollywood movie. Whether it's CGI battles or physical fights, Marvel is simply better at engaging audiences. But DC can be great. Just look at DC animation. For example, the Young Justice series. Its characters, storyline, and world building are incredible. Even today, it remains one of my all-time favorite series. So why can't DC's live action be just as good? The reason is simple. They keep forcing Bollywood-style storytelling into their movies. And to this day, DC still doesn't seem to know what it truly wants to be. It's frustrating. But despite everything, I still have hope. I want to believe that the future of the DC universe will be better. That's all for today. Thank you to everyone who watched until the end. I appreciate you all, take care.